Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Unit Lost. I am Stylosa, and we're going to do another gameplay commentary clip because a lot of you guys really enjoyed the last one I did on Zarya. So let's take a look at King's Row on defense from the point of view as playing Reinhardt. Now, Reinhardt is a very good tank on this map. I mean, he's a very good tank on almost every map because of his very fancy barrier field, which absorbs 2,000 points of damage, and it's absolutely amazing. And please, ladies and gentlemen, if you've got a Reinhardt on your team, do stand behind his barrier and fire because you can shoot through it if you're friendly. Now, most people know this, but some people don't, and it seems a bit crazy to me that people haven't really, coined onto that just yet. So, what the hell am I doing in this bit of the game here? So, a little bit of a spoiler, we do lose the first point pretty quick, and it does highlight some pretty dodgy play. But what I'm doing at the moment is making sure the barrier is up, because that is what Reinhardt is all about. You've got to keep that barrier up, but you've also got to manage the barrier, and I don't think I do a great job of managing the barrier, because it doesn't recharge when you've got it active, but you need to have it active to stop the damage hitting your team. Now, some attacks can go through it, like Reinhardt's Fire Strike, which you'll see me use in this clip, which is his only ranged attack. That will go through that thing there, which I'm trying to hit the Widowmaker with. I mean, if you notice on the kill feed, just their Widowmaker killed our Widowmaker, and then we lost another guy. It's not ideal, because that means we're a couple of men down, and then they're starting to push onto the point, which will result in us losing the point. Now, this is craziness. Don't do this. Please don't do that. I should have retreated here, but I don't know what I'm doing. I knew the point was lost, and I'm like, right, I'm just going to kill you, Tracer. And I tried to charge Tracer, and I paid the price because I hit the tree. So it was a terrible charge, and then they all mowed me down. So that's not great. But the thing is, they've got to wait for the payload to spawn, and it's going to give me time to get back. So let's talk about his charge. I should have used the charge right now to charge forward. In fact, I usually do, just to get me back to my team quicker. Because it's very unlikely that I'm going to use the charge in an offensive capacity right now, because the team need the barrier. And it's sort of like, the worst thing I see with Reinhardt is once I just charge up into the fight, it's like, yes, now it's time. And they, like, if I went around the corner right now and charged towards the payload, I would die, because that's a crazy move. But you see people doing it, and it's like, please don't do it. I mean, I get the charge does a lot of damage. I think the charge does 50 damage when it hits you, and then 300 damage when it pins you to a wall. So, I mean, it is considerable damage. All of the DPS classes will just get killed by it if you pin them. It's only really tanks who can take the hit, and even then, after you pin them to the wall, you just beat the shit out of them with your rocket hammer, which does, I think, 70 damage per hit, which is a bit ridiculous. So, yeah, I used the Fire Strike every now and again. Like, I used it there, and I think I got Zenyatta with it, which is pretty good. But now, what the hell are me and our friendly Zenyatta going to do? We need to back off, right? If I went forward here, I would die. He would die, because he'd have no shield, because I wanted to keep my shield up to just protect him, or the barrier field. I know I keep calling it a shield, guys, because, I'm a Star Trek fan. It's a shield, right? Anyway, yeah, now we've backed off into this point. It's pretty much guaranteed we're going to lose this, and it's going to be a defense at the end of the game, which, most King's Row games do tend to fall back into this area, because I think it's the easiest area to defend, if you ask me. Although the first point, actually, no, I haven't said that. The first point's probably, I don't know, but it doesn't matter. We fell back in this gameplay clip, and or in this clip. So we've got to adjust, and we've got to try and protect what's going on here and stop them moving the payload into this area. Now, if you look at the barrier, you can see that it's visually becoming damaged. When it's heavily damaged like this, it's below 500 hit points. If you're an enemy player and you see a Reinhardt shield that looks like mine right now, unload into it, because if you destroy the barrier, Reinhardt cannot instantly bring it back up. He has to wait a moment, then he's got to wait for the recharge. And obviously that means there's no barrier, there's no protection for the team. Especially in this area on King's Row, the barrier is so effective because they can only really come from a couple of angles. I mean, you can almost cover this entire path. When I activate it, you can see it's massive and it's covering a lot of the area. Here again, like, I've gone through to help protect the team. What I'm doing is, I think I'm playing Reinhardt a little bit passively, and again, I turn around there just because I see Tracer's ultimate, and obviously I want the shield to absorb the damage on it. But yeah, I think I'm playing him a little bit passively. But what I absolutely hate is those over-aggressive Reinhardts who just can't balance it. I think Reinhardt is a very finely tuned hero. If you get the balance of Reinhardt right, you're an awesome player. So here, I should have had the barrier up straight away. But I thought Genji was jumping on us because we're in Zarya's ultimate, which is Graviton Surge, which pulls the team together. So if I put my barrier up, it's going to protect everyone, right? But I was wailing around with the hammer thinking he was on us, and then I did bring it up, a bit delayed. That, though, was good, because I heard the audio cue from Soldier. I know his ultimate's about to go, and I just turned the barrier field on and just stand there like, you what, Soldier? Really, Soldier? Goodbye, Soldier. I have denied an ultimate with my standard ability. That is very powerful. You know, you've got to think it takes time for ultimates to charge. Soldier's ultimate is pretty good. It's an aimbot. You know, it locks into people and he just starts firing away and taking them out. If you just put the barrier in his face, well, he can't do anything. And that's completely denied him. But yeah, let's talk about Earthshatter, because I used it fairly okay there. I use it a little bit better towards the end of the clip, and I also use it quite poorly as well. Earthshatter knocks everybody down onto the ground in a frontal conal AoE, and it's got quite a bit of range to it as well. Almost deceptively so, and it's like a wedge shape in front of you, right? A frontal conal AoE. If you've played MMOs, you'll know what the hell I'm talking about. This knocks them down, and it does 50 damage to them, but that's fine. Then what you need to do is use your Fire Strike, which goes through targets. That does 100 damage, so it will just pass through all the targets that you've knocked down on the floor if they're lined up. Then you want to charge into them, and then you just want to start smashing your hammer. That is an extremely effective combo off Reinhardt, especially when a team clumps up. Very effective on these payload maps where teams want to just jump onto the payload. But you've kind of got to save it, because this is an ultimate that will win the game. It will absolutely win the game. If the enemy team jump onto me, and I know it's looking bad, and I get that beautiful Earthshatter off, it will stop their push. Also, the enemy Reinhardt, if he comes forward and gets a really good Earthshatter off as well, he can obviously change the flow of the game, and then we can move forward. It's like Zarya as well. Her ultimate, they're very good like initiation ultimates, and they really change up the flow of an engagement. It's much like Reinhardt's shield, right? That protects other members of the team. Now, I'm not the biggest fan ever of Bastion sitting on the payload, but what I'm trying to do here is make sure that the barrier is up to protect whatever the hell he's doing, because this is a pug. It's not got amazing levels of coordination going on. So for me to stand there and protect him, it's going to help him do damage. You know, he should move now. Like, really, he should think, oh shit, the shield's gone, I should move. You see, he doesn't, then he dies. I almost got back to him, but I mean, what you've got to listen for if you're not in voice comms and you're not, you know, in a pre-made group, Reinhardt will shout when his barrier is destroyed. So you've got to be aware of that and then move away. So here, I could see a big strong push was coming on. I've used my ultimate and I've charged in. I think I used Fire... No, I didn't use Fire Strike. I should have used Fire Strike as well. But it doesn't matter, because we got 2 kills there, or at least assisted in 2 kills. But we controlled what the enemy team's doing. To me, that's what Reinhardt's all about. He's about control. You're not this guy who's going to go off and fight the enemy toe-to-toe. I know he shouts about it a lot, like, fight me, you coward, or whatever. I think he shouts something at Widowmaker when he detects a sniper. It might also apply to Hanzo as well. But he'll say something about, fight toe-to-toe, you coward. Oh, and that would have been good. If I'd caught him there with the charge, that would have been good. But Reaper managed to teleport away. So now I'm sort of behind them. This is like, if I had my charge available, I could have charged the Reinhardt and maybe taken him out. But you always want to stay with your team as Reinhardt. Don't, like, go off, like, on some sort of madman mission. It also helps as well when your healers are healing you. I think we've actually got a Mercy and a Zenyatta in this game, so that's pretty strong. You see Reaper jump down behind as well. Die. And I turn around and stuck the barrier in his face. He did die straight away, but that would have mitigated some of the damage that he's going to do from the ultimate, which is like a really strong thing with Reinhardt. He can mitigate a lot of damage from a lot of ultimates. I mean, like I showed you with the Soldier one earlier, we totally took the piss out of Soldier. Can you imagine Soldier comes around the corner and he's like, okay, goodbye. It's like with McCree as well, it would do the same to McCree. But you've got to be aware though with McCree, because I've died a few times to this. When your barrier is heavily damaged, McCree will still get you with the ultimate, because it will just go straight through the barrier and cap you in the head, which is not good. So you've got to be aware of that. And also for people standing behind you as well, it will just obviously, the barrier is not going to protect them if it gets shot out and then they get, well, shot by his ultimate. That's not good. Now, I just think, like, for me, what I need to get better at, and I mean, what I want you guys to do is comment on my gameplay as well. Comment where you think I can get better, and also leave tips and advice, any kind of, like, handy little hints that you guys have picked up through playing Reinhardt, because I really enjoy playing Reinhardt, and I've been playing him for quite a lot recently, actually. Just trying to get used to being less, almost like less aggressive, because I am more of a DPS player. I'm more of a 76, of a Widowmaker, of a McCree kind of player, and not the tank who sort of sits back. It's kind of funny, because when I played MMOs, I did play a lot of... I generally was the tank. I think it's just because I could sort of lead from the front, that kind of attitude. It's different, though, with Reinhardt. You need to be... As I said earlier, it's this balance, right? You've got to be like, when is the time to go and when is the time to stay with your team? Like, do I go forward now? Do I move back? Should I have my barrier up? Well, no, because I want it to recharge. There's not a lot of damage coming out. Why I charged there is I seen them together, and I'm like, right, okay, they're all together. I'm probably going to get somebody with a charge. Very luckily, I got the Widowmaker. Widowmaker shouldn't have really been there, but she paid the price. Got the ultimate down, controlled their Reinhardt, smacked the shit out of their Zenyatta, and then their Genji gets stuck in a trap, and I smacked the shit out of him. That was very successful, like very, very successful. The only reason I charged there, though, is because I thought it was a fairly safe time to do it. Because I've got most of my team behind me, they can kind of bail me out. And you will see when play of the game pops, which it is Bastion, but it's Bastion in tank mode, he actually aids me quite a lot. But I was the one who initiated that attack. You know, I went forward, picked a good time to do it, got lucky, took out a Widowmaker, which again, she shouldn't have really been there. The Widowmaker should have been somewhere else. But it's just that balance thing, right? If I'd gone at the wrong time and died, the team lose a shield, and we're going to get wrecked, right? Bastion's not going to be as effective. Because I know Bastion is playing with me, and in fact, no, I think this is when Bastion uses ultimate, sorry. Yeah, I got a bit confused. Bastion uses it now. He didn't use it in the sequence that you see me with the charge. But, you know, that was not a clever charge there off me. I just sort of thought maybe I could get him. I knew the team was behind me, so it was kind of, I guess, okay to do it. But, yeah, it wasn't a great charge at the end there. But, yeah, I think the Bastion thing, we'll see in a minute on play of the game, was almost in the same... Well, he stopped a push effectively himself there, which is pretty good. But yeah, there you go, guys. What I want you to do is leave comments below on what you think about playing Reinhardt and sort of the mentality players need, or any tips you've got as well. And I'll keep doing these clips as well, guys, if you enjoy them. In fact, I've got a pretty good one lined up where I swap through a number of heroes, which actually results in a win, which is fantastic. But yeah, there you go, guys. 27,000 damage block. That's quite a lot. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter, which is @UnitLostGaming. If you like the video, then like the video and subscribe to the channel, guys, and all that good stuff. And I'll catch you next time. Toodaloo.